Of course, we all know that isa po sa makakapag-reduce ng ating production is the occurrence of pests and diseases. So with the challenge nowadays on climate change, so it could be negative, neutral, or positive effect. So pwedeng magkakaroon ng mga emerging diseases, or pwedeng merong disease na mawala, or pwedeng merong mag-re-emerge na disease. And so those things, yun po yung ating na-experience ngayon. And so there are a lot of problems in the field with regard to plant diseases of plants, particularly in cacao. So we have this potential 2 million hectares of coconut that is ideal for cacao intercropping. But of course, we'll be considering a lot when we do intercropping. This is our USM clonal, cacao clonal garden. So itong mga maliliit na cacao, matatangkad na yan ngayon. So I just be sharing to you this picture. And of course, the cacao is confronted with different pests and diseases at all stages of its growth and development. And the most serious problems were encountered in the field. Even in the nursery level, that's why we need to make sure that our planting materials are clean. We did survey here in Mindanao, mataas ang infection ng VSD. And VSD is a systemic disease. So, minsan, when we look at our tree, it seems walang sakit. Pero, hindi natin alam na meron na palang dalang sakit yon. So, what are those major diseases? Number one is we have this vascular streak dieback caused by Ceratobasidium theobromei. This is a fungal pathogen which is considered to be one of the major diseases of cacao in the Philippines. So this is a xylem inhabiting obligate fungus, meaning they would infect the xylem vessel wherein dito dumadaan yung tubig or nutrients from the soil. And so kapag infected yung xylem vessel, the tendency is nagkakaroon ng wilting, nagkakaroon ng death of the tree. So how many years you waited for that tree to bear fruit? A few months, mamamatay yung tanim. So very frustrating sa part ng farmer yon. Especially kung dala-dala mo na yung sakit galing pa doon sa kanyang nursery, pagdating doon sa field mo, nag-worsen yung sakit, and it becomes a problem. Namamatay yung ating mga seedlings. Okay? The first infection would start at the leaves, and then down to the branches, and then sa kanyang trunk. And it will take time before pa yan siya mamatay. In other countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, ito siya ay isang problema din. And it is associated also doon sa ating tinatawag na drought stress. So kapag nagkakaroon ng drought, mas nagiging predisposed yung ating tanim. So the typical symptoms, of course, as we can see in here, there might be some chlorotic symptoms in the leaves. And then we will try to take the leaves. So makikita natin na merong traces of leaf scar. Merong 3 dots. So pag nakita natin na meron ng yellowing, meron ng chlorosis doon sa dahon, or nagkakaroon na siya ng yung namamatay na yung ibang parts ng dahon, try to take that leaf. So kukunin mo yung leaf, then look at this typical symptom na traces ito ng fungal infection. And then kapag severe na yan, as you look on the third picture, ganon yung kanyang magiging symptom. But looking healthy pa naman yung kanyang dahon. And of course, we need to familiarize ourselves with the symptoms of this disease. So kapag nasa dahon yung first infection, so you can prune that right away. And this is a wind-borne pathogen. This is a wind-borne pathogen. Nadadala siya ng hangin. So kapag meron ng infection in any of the tree, pwedeng dumami ito when the favorable conditions may occur. So this is the typical symptom. Some of the control measures that we can be employ. First is regular inspection and cutting out of infected parts of our tree. So make sure to cut the 30 cm below the infected wood. So when we cut the infected portion, then pag tinignan natin yung kanyang branch, meron pang brown discoloration. So we need to cut pababa. Kasi yung infection from the leaves, pababa yun siya. So kapag naunahan natin yung pathogen or yung mikrobyo, kasi this is a fungal pathogen, so mas napiprevent natin yung pagkamatay ng ating halaman. Okay? Of course, we can use the VSD resistant clones. We have a lot of research that would try to evaluate anong clones yung maganda natin gamitin. Although we have now these traditional varieties na tinatanim natin sa ating mga farms, but we can explore for a more resistant clones or variety. So kapag severe na talaga yung infection, 100% infection, so we would recommend the last option. But of course, this is always the last option, the application of pesticide. Okay? And then light shade reduces the spread of the disease. So we need to somewhat allow the air to flow, and of course yung light, so that yung relative humidity would not favor the growth of the pathogen. So take note that in the disease, kailangan meron yung tinatawag nating disease triangle. The components of disease triangle are the virulent pathogen, yung presensya ng mikrobyo, and then yung favorable environment such as yung relative humidity, yung ulan, and then the susceptible host, yung ating tanim. So kapag isa doon na manipulate natin, so we can control diseases or yung epidemic. Okay, secondly, we have the cacao pod rot caused by Phytophthora palmivora. The symptoms would begin as a small brown spot appear on the pod at early stages of infection. In 1 to 2 weeks, spots cover the whole pod. Beans from immature pods are totally destroyed, and yield loss pwedeng umabot ng 10 to 70% or even 100% kapag highly favorable yung environment sa infection. So marami ng mga pathogen would also be accommodated aside from the Phytophthora. Pag ganito na yung kanyang itsura, mag-accommodate na siya ng iba't ibang pathogens. Not only the Phytophthora palmivora but even other pathogens as well. This one is a farm with high infection severity infection of the disease, more or less mga 30 to 40%. So maganda yung panahon. So maganda din yung pagtubo ni Phytophthora. And mapansin niyo, the pods that are closer to the ground are more likely to be infected with the disease. Why? Because this pathogen is a soil-borne pathogen. And mas lalo na kapag walang soil cover. Because during the rain splashing, so ang soil that might be carrying the pathogen, dikit siya doon sa mga pods. And the tendency, it would initiate infection. Okay? And then, papunta na yan sa taas. Or yung ating mga ants. The ants also would carry the pathogen. And of course, meron din mga insects that would carry the pathogen. Ito na yun sila. This Scolitid beetle at saka Nitidulid beetle. Halimbawa, yung mga pods natin, nakastack lang dyan sa gilid, na bulok, and it would accommodate a lot of inoculum from the soil. Then the insects will feed up dito sa ating mga pods na mga bulok na, destroyed. Paglabas nila, they would disseminate the pathogen. So, paglipad nilang ganon, doon sa kanilang mga scales, dala-dala na yung pathogen, and it will be disseminated further. That's why we need to collect those pods na infected nandoon sa ground. So kailangan linisan talaga natin kasi it may become source of inoculum and it will initiate another infection. So tinutulungan sila nitong mga insects na to. Kasi sa in nature talaga, gano'n naman, nagtutulungan sila. But of course, we need to be more cautious sa kapag gano'n yung mga scenarios. So this is the pathogen. Another part of the plants that can be infected with the Phytophthora is the trunk and the branches. So kapag nakita natin na yung ating trunk ng cacao or branches, nagkakaroon siya ng mga cracks. Okay? And then, napapansin natin meron ng mga namamatay na part ng halaman, the branches. So it might be infected with the Phytophthora disease. Pwede rin yung pagmulan ng inoculum na magta-transfer doon sa mga pods natin. At during the rainy season, magkakaroon ng tubig actually dito sa mga singit-singit ng mga branches at saka mga trunks ng ating cacao. So most likely, the pathogen would favor this type of environment at doon sila nag-i-infect. Okay? and it will become source of inoculum. Kapag hindi po natin na-treat yon, pinabayaan natin, dadami po siya ng dadami. What are the control measures that we can do? First, we need to do frequent harvesting to avoid pathogen sporulation. So tanggalin natin yung mga nabulok na, yung mga infected na. We should have our regular monitoring doon sa field natin. Huwag nating hayaan na yung mga nabulok na pads is nakabulagta lang, because this might be a source of an inoculum. Harvest all the infected pads, especially those rotten, destroy and bury. Prune the cacao trees and shade trees to reduce humidity. So kapag masyadong mataas yung lilim, the tendency is mag-favor yung relative humidity. So nagkakaroon ng magandang panahon, magandang climate, microclimate doon sa ating field, at pwede siyang maging dahilan na mas lalong gaganahan din yung ating mga mikrobyo. So isa pa is yung ating drainage system natin kailangan establish. Kasi the tendency, kapag hindi po nakalabas yung tubig, pwede rin po yung tirahan ng ating Phytophthora. Kasi meron silang tinatawag na yung kanilang mga spores ay nagsiswim sila in a film of water, and it will be transported from one place to another kapag nag-uulan. So nakakalangoy sila sa tubig. Unlike with other fungus, unlike with other microbes na they are dependent on other trees that have died due to the tree canker should be cut down and destroyed. Ito, kagaya nito, sinunog yung isang portion kasi nga heavily infected yung isang farm. So yan yung pwede natin gawin to remove the infection. So this one is a trunk or a tree infected with the canker disease. So what we did, trinit namin yung trees. Kasi mga 80% ng trees infected with the canker. Mataas din yung infection ng padrat. Kasi pwedeng dito nagmula yung sakit sa kanyang trunk or branches. So what we did, we scraped off the infected portion and we applied certain fungicide na mag-appropriate din doon sa ating pathogen na Phytophthora. Hindi pwedeng kung ano-anong fungicide lang pwede natin gamitin. But in this case, talagang nirecommend talaga namin na mag-apply na to reduce the infection. So yun yung ginawa natin. And eventually, of course, na-save yung isang farm. This one, I will be sharing to you our study on cross-infection with the cacao, durian, and coconut. So this is in durian infection, and ito naman is a rubber. This is caused by the Phytophthora palmivora. This is also in durian, which is common here in Davao. Okay, that one is infected with the Phytophthora. This is in cacao. So what we did, we collected samples from Davao, from Region 12, and then we do some sort of cross-infection studies. Titingnan namin na yung galing ba sa durian could infect cacao. Yung galing sa cacao could infect durian, galing sa coconut could infect. Although well-established na yung study na yan, but we need to confirm. So ano yung results? All isolates were able to infect all potential hosts. Okay, so makikita naman natin yung value dyan. The cacao isolate were able to infect the durian, the coconut, the rubber. The palmivora from the durian were able to infect the cacao, durian, coconut, and rubber. And as well as from coconut, were able to infect all potential hosts. We did molecular studies, and nakita namin, nag-group yung durian isolates, and then yung cacao isolates, nag-group din sila. Perhaps this is because of yung tinatawag nating adaptability. Kapag nandoon sila sa durian agroecosystem, mas nagiging efficient sila sa pag-infect. When they are in the cacao agroecosystem, nagiging efficient din sila sa pag-infect ng cacao. But also they can infect other potential hosts. So intercropping system should be incorporated with other crops which is not a potential host of the pathogen, okay, which will serve as a buffer crop to avoid close contact with other hosts attacked by the pathogen. Implementation of combined control strategies such as sanitation, eradication, removal of infected plant part, breeding for resistant clones, exploration of biological control and chemical control should be done. So that's why we do a lot of research. Close monitoring of new pathogens. We documented another species, the Phytophthoramidae. We tried to identify all our isolates. We were not able to identify the Phytophthora megakarya. The Phytophthora megakarya is more virulent as compared with our Phytophthora palmivora. Megacarya can only be found in Africa. So far, wala po tayong megacarya here in the Philippines. So yun yung magandang balita kasi hindi po ito alarming. So we have also the cacao pod borer, which is one of the most important insect pests in cacao. So what are the control measures that we can implement? So we need to remove all pods that are infested with the CPB in the field because it will cause na magkakaroon ulit sila ng source ng mga eggs. Regular sanitary pruning, remove the infested pods, and then sleeving of cacao pods, spraying of chemical if necessary. And it should be the last option. Synthetic sex pheromones, and the use of the biological control. So ito yung mga examples natin sa cacao pod sleeving. I believe familiar yung ating mga farmers dyan. And again, meron tayong caution dito sa paggamit ng chemical pesticides. Just to be aware, before po tayo gumamit ng pesticides, we should be responsible enough. Palaging tandaan that these pesticides are associated with different diseases, including cancer. Okay? So ano yung nangyayari? When we are exposed to pesticides, nagkakaroon po ng tinatawag nating iba't ibang epekto sa ating katawan, nagkakaroon ng damage sa ating DNA, nagkakaroon ng sa mga babae kanina, yung mga iba't ibang uri ng sakit. Ito naman sa mga lalaki, we have the prostate cancer for the men. Farmers and pesticide applicators have higher rates of prostate cancer. Women who work with pesticides suffer more often from ovarian cancer. Alarming po ito para sa atin. Crop duster and farm women have higher rates. And of course, yung paano po natin gamitin yung ating mga pesticides, we should do responsible use of pesticides such as kailangan po natin piliin yung registered talaga, hindi peke. And then, i-follow po natin yung label. Maghugas po tayo ng kamay. This is basic procedures upang tayo po ay magiging safe upon application of our pesticides. So, clean and maintain the PPE na ginagamit natin. Maintain good personal hygiene when handling pesticides. Wash contaminated PPE. So, hindi po yung kapag gumamit tayo ng PPE, so ilalagay lang natin doon sa sulok. Hindi na po natin nilalabhan. Ginagamit natin paulit-ulit. So, the tendency it would absorb to our skin and it will cause some health problems. Then, store pesticides properly, especially away from children. Lastly, iwan ko itong quotation na ito from the British researcher. Sabi ito, a kiss is just a kiss. Chocolate gives better. Ano daw yon? Chocolate boosts brain activity and increases heart rate more effectively than kissing. Meaning to say, kumain po tayo palagi ng chocolate. Okay? So that's all. This ends my presentation at maraming salamat po sa ating lahat.